तत्परम्पर्याय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात्
Namaste everyone, welcome to another episode of Songs of the heart-to-heart conversations with mentors and teachers of the Gitananda family worldwide. Today I'm delighted to welcome here a mentor of the tradition, a friend, and someone who is very dear to me because I was able to meet our beloved Yogacharini Sri Devi. Namaste Sri Devi.
Namaste Sangeeta. Thank you
for this. You and I met, which is marvelous. You and I actually met in India and in Europe, in Switzerland, where you are residing now. How are you today? Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. It's a bit a special day today because it's all yellow from the Sahara sand. It's a very special atmosphere.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. So for those of you who are new to this introduction with Sri Devi, Yogacharini Sri Devi is a wonderful person, a wonderful teacher, and has been walking on this yoga path with our parampara for several decades, actually over 25 years, together with naturopathy. And Sri Devi has a particular passion and love for sound and music. She calls these two instruments, two babies, the Tambura and the Monochord. And if we are so blessed today, we will be gifted with the gift of music by Sri Devi. But Sri Devi is also happily married, and she's a true adhikarin in this parampara, has been of service to several students like me by sharing her experience at the ashram and also welcoming students at the ashram. Sri Devi and I, in fact, first met at the ashram where I was absolutely new. And I remember just the comforting presence of her. So without further ado, let's begin with your experience of being in the ashram, Sri Devi. You were there in 1993 at Ananda Ashram in Pondicherry. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? How did you get to Ananda Ashram, to Swami Gitananda and this parampara? And what was your experience in 1993 when you were there for the first time? Thank you.
Well, I heard of Swami Gitananda when I was in New Zealand in 92 with Erik Tornekamp. So I practiced with him, and my version is that I probably had too many questions for him. So I said, okay, you want to have all these questions answered, then go to India and meet Swami Gitananda himself, which I did in 93. I arrived at his birthday on 24th of July, and this summer was a lot of celebrations, which I was happy to be part of it. It was the first time in India, everything was new, but on the same time, it was kind of like coming home, even though I didn't know that before, but it was so, everything was embracing, and the sounds, like in Kambli Swami Madam, the singing of all the youngsters as well. I mean, this was also the year when they opened the name now is just not coming. It was the birthday celebrations for 2 days of Swamiji, and it was a huge kind of Kumbh Mela. So a lot of Swamis were around, and at different places, also at the beach at the ashram, there were these celebrations. So it was a lot of different sounds. Really, it's impossible to imagine if you have not lived on and heard it. It was really a special start into this parampara.
And you got there, and so you were able to meet Swami Gitananda when you arrived. And we are told, and we can see in the videos, and we know from the inheritance that our Dr. Ananda has from Swamiji's voice, but I've heard that his voice was booming and very present. Do you have a memory of that in that particular context?
Very much. For example, in the city center, he was giving talks. And also, whenever he arrived, his presence, just everybody was open to get his information. I was lucky that in the afternoon on the roof at the ashram, I sat to his feet and we had satsanga, and also in the evening. And his voice is really, it's a lot of vibration, a lot of energy. And also when all the bhajans were sung, then he lived with it by just singing as well. Maybe one person was singing, but he was singing as well, like Shiva, 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 things like that. To really, it was all about this building up the energy which he was embedded with. So all this energy vibrating all the time. So his voice, yes, he didn't need a microphone. He just could talk to big crowds of people and being understood as well. Yes.
Yes, it's true. This is a real gift of his wise teachings as well. It's about uplifting the soul, uplifting the self, right? And I remember when I was in the ashram, Amaji always tells us, sit up, yeah? And Swamiji teaches, the difference between the West and the East is that in the West, people sit down, and in the East, especially in the yoga paramparas, you are taught to sit up. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so you arrived at a very specific acoustic occasion, right? Like all of the sounds. And how long were you there in 93? How long did you stay there?
I think it was 6.5 weeks. So it was at beginning of September. Yes.
Did you have an experience of learning? You were mentioning the bhajans. What was your experience? Had you sung before? Were you someone who was used to using your voice before, whether in chanting or singing, or was this a new experience for you, singing?
Well, no, I'm very open to singing, even though I'm not trained like you, studied music. So I experienced music and singing just by experiencing, being exposed to it. And the Indian singing was different, I realized. So only now I start to realize what is the difference to the Western kind of music or singing. And especially when people who are common to move within music, then they tell me. And then I realize, for example, when I sing the mantras before and after the lesson, so it's not the pitch straight, so it's it's this moving through the different tones, and this is something typical in the East. So then somebody told me, it's nice to hear this Oriental way of singing the mantras. It's not da 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 da. So it's this moving through the different tones, and I realized this is nice. But then I got the answer for it only later, the difference, and this makes it special, so that you don't have to have the perfect pitch. You just go through it. Also, when Devasena is teaching the chanting, the Bhajan on Thursday, she doesn't go sa pa sa pa sa. It's sa pa. It's like finding the different ones. And this makes it so vibrant, so lively, so different. And in the West, you are taught it has to be the pitch perfect, which it makes it more, lively, I think is the word. And this is something which I have in the classes as well, that some people, they don't have the feeling for the sound. So when we sing Pranava Aum, I just let them find their own tone, what is suitable to them, not because my voice is rather low. So for some women, the Aum is too deep for them to sing. So I invite them to find their own level of sound for what is comfortable for them. And this is something I like to play around, so that we sometimes go very high to realize that the vibration is very fast. And then we go deep, and then you realize the vibration is rather slow. And then to play with these different tones, with these different vibrations, to get the feeling of this. And this is what I think in Asia, you can play with these different sounds. You don't have to be just right perfect, but it's moving through sound.
I really love listening to you, and also seeing how when you talk about the movement, you're all moving like that, just like the flow of the prana that imbues, right? The sounds, that's the idea. But also you made me realize something important, which is rational approach to singing is not enough. It's quite important. So there is a lot of theory in Carnatic music, of course, and that has to be there. A very mathematical system indeed is there in the talam and the ragas and all. But at the same time, it's not enough, right? There's this bhava, and the bhava is just, it's an emotion, right? So this fluidity, that's really wonderful. Which brings me to something that I'm seeing there on the screen that is saying hello. Is this your tambura?
Yes.
Shall we? Are you so kind?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
The two instruments I have, they found me. It was not me searching them. So a friend of mine, she has one like this, but a small one, which is a female tambura, and her voice is rather high. So the female tambura is easier for her for singing. And as my voice is rather low, then I have the male tambura of this. And it's really lovely, this how it is made. I mean, the upper part is wood, and the lower part is a pumpkin.
So beautiful. Wow.
So there are 4 strings, but you only have 3 tones. So I have it adjusted to C and G and the upper C, so sa, pa, sa, pa, sa. And what is special with the tambura and also with the monocord is you do not have only one tone, but it comes to this overtones automatically. That means, maybe I can show you down there. Well, here are some swans, which are for the more specific tuning, which I'm not familiar with. I just do it up here. But here you have little strings, and these little, depending on where they are, they make then the overtone. For example, if I don't have it, and if I go with it, oh, I can't find it. Yeah, now.
Oh, yes. So yes.
So this is then the Indian, this.
And we are going to apologize in advance with our viewers, because Zoom unfortunately cuts a lot of the harmonics out. Okay. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll do our best.
Okay. So what I do, as many students are a bit timid to sing.
Timid, yes, shy, yeah.
So when there is an instrument, they are more open to sing. And as here, there are already 3 different tones, they are more open to try. And I also make them try different levels, as I said before. And I also...
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you lift the camera a little bit, because we can't see your face very well? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So what I like most is for the 2nd of February, it is the birthday of Swami Gitananda with the all night Om chanting, and it is supposed to never stop. And this is what I mostly do also in my classes, because some people have a long volume and others don't. And so I invite them to sing like we do on the 2nd of February. So everybody can concentrate on his own volume and also what kind of height they want to sing. So what I do is I also sing different tones to show them or give them examples. So this was a short introduction.
Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. The sound was mostly okay. There were a little bit of it's just too good for Zoom. Basically, that's what it is. But we got it. Amazing. And how do you feel when you get into this repetition? Right, it's the regularity, rhythm, and repetition that it's taught in this parampara. It is the secret of Santosham, truly. How do you feel? How does it make you feel physiologically, physically, right? How is it to play it and to chant with it?
Well, the vibration from playing it with holding the wood as well, the vibration goes also to me. So the vibration is then activating the vibration in me as well. And I used it a lot now the last 2 years because the stress of so many people, that it just helps them to calm down. That's my main focus on the classes. I mean, it's always on calming down. This is what people need, but the last 2 years even more. And it is all for calming down. I mean, with this vibration, it just helps. It's the parasympathetic, which then helps relax to help recover. And yeah, this is, people feel it immediately. And I also see it then on the faces of the people that they arrive, that they sit. Well, it's up sitting, but it's then coming sitting down. It's getting back to the earth, because worry, sorrow is up in the head, and then with the vibration, getting the connection to the earth as well. And with the monochord as well, this is inviting them more playing around with the overtones, just to get them out of this worry, of this stress modus. So this is my main thing, because I experience it myself like that, and that's why I share it.
Thank you so much. I really love this. I felt it when you explained the arriving there, right? To just coming back to your own self, inside of yourself. Sometimes the thoughts bring us, sometimes across countries, our thoughts can take us all the way to the infinite past, all the way to the infinite future. So to be able to come back and to ground yourself, it's the shape of that tambura too, right? It's that grounded calabash at the bottom. What about the monochord? Let's see if would you like to play and to play it for us, so we can hear it, hopefully through Zoom.
So I have to add that both instruments I did not learn it. I just learned it by myself. So if any experts are looking this video, whatever, this is my way how I work with it or experienced it. So the monochord is also instrument which yoga teacher, old woman, I wanted to give it away, and I don't know how she knew I'm also giving mantra classes, and so she asked me whether I'm interested in monochord. I first had to Google what is a monochord. And so I thought, okay, if this baby wants to come to me, then I'll have it. And monochord, I don't know too much about the different ones. I just know that they are mainly used in therapy, where they are upside down under the therapy table. And then the vibration, if you play it from underneath, then the vibration is also getting to the relaxation of the person lying on this bed. So this one, I think it's 34 strings, and they're all the same. It's all now with A. So if I just take one, but if I go over it with, then it gives also this overtone. And if I play it longer, then you feel, you hear so many different tones. We can see whether this is working now with Zoom.
Zoom did not handle it very well. But it's still a really powerful, you can really hear the
overtone.
You can hear it's a good manifestation of the cosmic vibration, because it truly gave, when we could hear it, it truly gave us a sense of full-bodiedness of the sound. Mm.
So this mainly I play in classes and let people lie down. So for example, at the end of relaxation, I start with them with this monocord so they can let go and then, relax.
So I wanna ask you one last question, and then I'll see if you have something that you would like to add. So the relationship between sound, particularly this type of sound, full of harmonics, with your voice offering different perspectives in a way through different pitches and tones, only perhaps highlighting the overtones that are already there. Why is, in your experience, so relaxing to hear it, to feel the vibration of this? What is your experience in teaching it, perceiving it, learning it through the mantras? If I didn't know anything about sound, if I were somewhat of an alien, which we could say, coming here, and I would be like, what is this? Why does it work for you humans? How would you be able to explain it to me?
I think we forget that we are already the light. We are already part of the whole universe. Or when we are breathing, we're breathing in from the whole universe and breathing out the connection back into the universe. Or if you were with the element water, it is the sea, and breathing in, we would this individualism that we become the drop, and then breathing out, the drop is again releasing into the whole sea, becoming the whole. And this is difficult for many people to imagine. And if they are in life, so many, it is the stress. I mean, as you mentioned before, it is the thoughts. The thoughts are in the future or in the past, but not in the here and now. And this vibration brings us back into the here and now. We forget thinking about the future or the past. So all the sorrows or the problems are away for a moment. So this vibration brings us into the present. So I think it is really, the thinking brings us into blockages wherever then this psychosomatic, and with the music, the singing, the vibration, we work with the somatopsychic. And I mean, it is then opening up or bringing these blockages into flow. So it is flowing again. I mean, you can do this with the whole techniques of yoga, with the hatenas, with the pranava aum. Well, I mean, this is just vibrations of this aum. I mean, as I said, this is based on the 2nd of February, on the Om night chanting, or the Shivaratri, where it is just flowing, on all these energies, all these emotions. And then when you emerge into the sea at the morning of Shivaratri, then you realize you let go and you let flow, and then you're connected. You realize you already are connected. Then it can flow. It is this flowing. And if you want to explain it on the more the like anatomy, it is the sympathetic, parasympathetic. Probably just to break it down to this simple: stress, relax. Yes, stress is tension, relaxation is flow. Is that understandable?
Yes. Yes, it's very understandable. There's something also really soothing about a sound that doesn't end, isn't it? Like the all night Om, which is the heart of what you were sharing. I think there's something there with not hearing any interruption and then sound comes in and goes out, but just feeling this drone, right? What we call a drone in Western music. Something that sustains you like that. It's comforting, I think, isn't it? So we want to thank you so much. Time flies, as we know. it's such a privilege. Thank you for sharing your passion, your wise experience. You always come across as a very humble and welcoming person, and you are. And yet, those of us who know you know how much depth of study and practice and commitment there is there to root that humility. So really, truly, thank you so much. Is there something that you would like to add or to share, or anything else you would like to tell us?
Well, thank you very much, Sangeeta, to bringing this out, and hopefully that somebody listening to it can also is then open to find out, to try to get to these vibrations, because finally it is about vibration, about energy, and the pranava aum. Finally, this is it. I mean, with the aum, you always connect. It's to bring to people the pranava aum. I think this is the most important about that. So then the energy flows, which is special for this parampara. I mean, when people come to class first time and we sing the pranava aum, many people think, oh, what's strange here. They really have to experience it, and then the pranava aum with all kind of instruments, or your own instrument. This brings you to peace. Thank you, Sangeeta.
Thank you so much, Sri Devi. So you are teaching. Where are you? I know where you're located, but tell us, where are you in the world exactly?
Well, I'm close to Basel in Switzerland. So I have a few classes here, and twice a year I am up in the mountains in a hotel where we have a whole week then with yoga, and we can indulge in these in these techniques much easier if it is a condensed week with Surya Namaskar out, with real Surya Namaskar and not just exercise. So this is how I share the knowledge, the teaching which I got from so many dear souls from this parampara.
Thank you so much. So we'll make sure that we'll add some details for you on how to get to know more about you. Also, everybody's always welcome to contact me, and I can put you in touch with Sri Devi with her permission, of course. So thank you so much. Much love all the way from Italy to Switzerland. Across the Alps with love. Thank you very, very much. And thank you everyone for being here, and we'll see you with the next episode. Ciao, ciao, Sri Devi.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu sarve janaha sukhinu